Funding for what I do is provided in part by my generous supporters on Patreon, and by direct donations from viewers like you. Thank you! Hello, Kelvin here, and today I don't have any game footage to show. Most of the work that I've been doing lately has been, engine stuff and fixes, things like that, so haven't really had much to actually look at, nothing to show on camera, but I thought I'd take a bit to talk about what's been going on, just so you guys know that development of the game is not dead. It's still going, and it's actually going rather well, but I have run into some rather strange issues. So, first off, I want to talk about everything that's going to go into the first milestone. First, I'm going to finish the Aurora Isles. I'm going to put in the last few levels and get the shop working, Sam's trade outpost. I'm going to finish working on Conky. Even though I've already got all the sprites for MIDI done, I could, start working on him right away. I want to work on Conky first because he's supposed to be unlocked in the first castle. So, I just to make sure that he's playable so that people can play with him while they're waiting for the next milestone to come out. And while people are waiting for that, you guys saw the playthrough I made earlier of the Frostlands? Well, that level pack was actually completed, and Ubuntu Jackson did a playthrough recently of the entire thing, and I'm probably going to play through it as well myself, but I'm going to be using those levels to practice with working out and, make sure all the kinks and stuff are ironed out of the contrib level system. So, yeah, those levels will probably get pulled into the main game at some point, and you'll be able to either that or download them, separately as a pack. And, so yeah, the Frostlands, oh boy, they are so much harder than what I've already got in the game so far. Like, dang. It gets precise in some of the later levels in that game. But, if you play Frostlands in its current release, you'll notice that it comes with two versions of the level pack. This is because, it turns out there was actually a huge issue with the Brux runtime environment. It was an easy fix, but it had major repercussions. The frame timer was not reporting the correct time. The game says that it's running at 60 frames per second, right? It's actually running at 120. Yeah. So, that's a thing. So after fixing that, it made the entire game run twice as slow. Now you would think that it would be as easy as just going through and doubling all the speed values to make it run twice as fast. No, unfortunately, that's not how math works. So I've been going through and retweaking everything. Still not completely finished with this. There's still some things that need to be sped back up and brought back to a point where they feel like the original. I've had people tell me that Tux himself feels like he's moving slower, and I think they might be right about that. But, I have made it. I don't know if it's going to be permanent, but I have made it where Tux now does not lose any momentum at all while running. So, you can still keep up some pretty good speed. It does mean that the previous world record for learning the slopes is impossible now. Unless I can get Tux feeling exactly the way he did before. Which I might be able to. I should be able to. Funny thing about that, though, I discovered while fixing the speed issues that The timer readout was actually formatting the strings incorrectly, and this caused the time to appear longer than it actually was. So it made it seem like you were taking longer to get through a level than you actually were. So that 11.53 second world record that Servalot had, yeah, it's actually closer to 10 seconds. So, yeah, he's even better than he thought. Yeah, I found that out when I was looking at the video footage, and I noticed, you know, timestamps just weren't matching up. So, I snipped it and measured the length of the video itself, and yeah, it was about like 10.12, I think. So, good. In terms of speed, running significantly faster than it appeared. So the in-game timer has been fixed, and frame rate is not perfectly precise, because SDL delay is not perfectly precise, but there's other options. I'm going to be working those into it. So frame rate and all that, they'll be completely smoothed out in the future. Shouldn't take too long. But yeah, that's the reason why there's two versions of the Frostlands. One of them is for the updated engine. And so yeah, there's that. And I'm going to be back to the contrib levels thing. I'm going to try to turn Frostlands into an actual level pack for the game. This does mean it's going to use the original tile sets, so it won't look the same, but, you could always just grab the assets from Frostlands and replace them in the game and make it look however you want. So yeah, that's all the new stuff. For planned stuff, what I want to do is, after you complete the Aurora Isles, which is the first overworld map of the game, you'll go to the Antarctica mainland, and from here is where you'll find the travel points to all the different worlds that the game takes place in. Worlds that we don't have much confirmed aside from the mine test world and just grassy, foresty place. But some of them that I was thinking of, I kind of want to make an SCP world. It's like, instead of like a spooky forest Halloween stuff, I want to go for the real spooky stuff, SCP. So I'm thinking what it would be is take some locations from SCP, like one of the Foundation sites, the Infinite IKEA. For trademark issues, it'll be renamed the Infinite Idea. So yeah, basically the same logo, just change a letter. Should get us around all the legal issues. Wanderer's Library. I definitely want to fit that in because I feel like there's a lot we could do with that too. And I guess for a final boss, darn it, all the really cool, notable SCPs are like also immortal. So SCP doesn't have any canon anyway, so I guess if anyone's gonna be able to kill one of them, it'd be the player. I don't know. Maybe you say that the player themselves is an anomaly, and anyone that the player is controlling is able to destroy other anomalies just because they're the player, and that's the explanation. The only reason you can beat like 682 is because you're the player and you gotta. I don't know. I'll figure something out, but yeah, an SCP world is definitely something that I want to try. And a world with levels based on SuperTux cart would be pretty cool, because there's a lot of variety there. And maybe something like the Macro Zone from Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins, I think it's what the game's called. Yeah, how there's like, you get shrunk down and you go into the house. I think that would make for some pretty cool level design. So yeah, there's a lot of ideas being thrown around on the Discord server. And there's some other level packs by other people in the works too, including Ubuntu Jackson, who I mentioned earlier, is working on a level pack of his own. And I'm still not that great at level design myself. I'm currently studying that, actually. That's one of the reasons why programming has been slowed down a bit, is because I'm studying level design so that I can come up with some better levels for the next few stages. Because I think I showed the branching path one. It's very rough. It's clearly very rough and definitely needs to be reworked before I can finish it. You get the gist of what I'm going for with it, though. You know, have some branches on the trees, because I think a treetop level is cool. And then, you know, have a section where it's like you could fly and take a second route, but if you can't make it up there, then you get to go to the ground route. And what else? Oh yeah, the other characters, how they'll be playable. Conky, my idea for him is he's sort of like Spyro. He's not as fast as Tux, he can't like slide, but he'll have a ground pound. And in his neutral form, he can breathe fire, which is like, you know, a little flamethrower short range thing. And with the fire flower, he'll shoot an explosive fireball, and ice flower gives him ice breath. The earth shell, I guess he'd spit rocks. That seems fitting. And with the air feather, he would have a lightning breath and still be able to fly. So yeah, Conky's a much more offensive character than Tux. Tux is more the speedster. You know, he's definitely the one I see people playing as the most for like speedruns and such. But Conky's going to be for like, you know, combat and such. And I do want to have... One thing I definitely want to add is enemies that take multiple hits without being bosses. Because that just seems like something that is needed. You know, there's currently not much variety with the enemies. So for MIDI, how's MIDI going to play? MIDI's going to be more exploration focused. He won't be able to fly when he has an air flower, he just gets thunder bombs. But he will be able to use like monkey bars, and he'll be able to climb ladders faster. And I mean, you can already jump on ladders, but now that I think about it, what's the point of climbing speeds if you can just jump on ladders? Should I get rid of ladder jumping? Should I make it so that jumping on a ladder just lets go? I don't know, what do you guys think? Because like, I feel like ladder speed should have some sort of impact. Of course, the first ladder that you come across in the game, aside from the tutorial, is against a wall, so you can just wall climb it. I've had people telling me that they also want single wall climbing to be removed, but some of the level design already hinges on it, so some of the levels will have to be edited. Shouldn't be too hard. It'll definitely make Frostlands need a lot of revisions, because there's a lot of sections there that rely on single wall jumps. What else? Yeah, I'm thinking maybe jumping on a ladder will just make you let go of it. But especially since most ladders, you know, visually they're like vines, ropes, you know, things that you couldn't necessarily jump off of anyway. Or maybe it's like a weak jump. Because I still want to be able to like jump from one ladder to another, but jumping straight up is kind of really freaking heckin' fast. And it kind of makes climbing speed irrelevant. So I think what it's going to be is it's a weak jump, like just enough that you can get some horizontal distance. So there's an idea there. So yeah, Midi, he will have bombs in every form. And for him, neutral form is just, straight up damage. No elemental effects. The elemental effects are things like fire can set off TNTs and melt ice blocks and such. Ice freezes enemies, which can now be shattered by sliding into them. And Conky's ground pound will be able to shatter them as well. So yeah, you'll have that. And for lightning, I'm thinking of making like electrical conduits, and if you shock either end of them, it'll send a charge to the other end, which could be used for like electrical puzzles or, starting machinery or something. So yeah. Tux doesn't have any shooting in his air form though, but actually, you know what? That's good. It means that I can make maps that are like just not maps, but routes. I can make routes that are just for Conky and Midi, and be able to have Tux on his own routes. That means that I don't have to like design an area for all three characters. I can have them take different paths. So that should make things better there. So yeah, Midi can shoot in 8 directions. He is the slowest swimmer. His earth form does not give him basically like gravity suit effect in water. I'm actually not sure what his earth form is going to be. I'm thinking of replacing his bombs with boomerangs in earth form. I'm not sure. But it'll also be able to use like monkey bars, because I already got a monkey bar animation, and I wanted to have those be sort of like in Metroid Fusion, like certain ceilings will have monkey bars that you can climb across, and yeah, I want to have him able to cross those. So that'll help him with like, aside from being able to do a bomb jump, which is where he'll plant a landmine and then jump while standing on it. He is kind of vertically challenged movement-wise. Ironic since he's the tallest character. But yeah, he needs a way to move around in elevated areas, and the monkey bars and zip lines and such, that's gonna be how he gets around. So instead of like flying and stuff, he climbs. So yeah, all 3 characters will be pretty different in how they handle. Those are the only 3 that I'm planning on officially supporting, but it is possible using mods to add even more. It's like, just write your character file and the mod file, and then, add them to the playable characters list. Yeah. What else? I can't think of anything more I've got to say. So yeah, that's all the updates for now. Thank you guys. Oh, I got GitHub sponsorship approved. So if you guys don't want to support me through Patreon, if you'd rather do like a GitHub sponsorship, you can find that on my GitHub page, sponsor button there. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, I think that's all the news for the game right now. Thank you everyone who has been following and supporting me on this, and thank you all again so much for watching. I hope you'll join me next time.